Come back here, you. Yes. Oh, thank you.
In terms of organics, too late in terms of nature, too late for the bees. We need to start thinking proactively. Another argument I hear often is, it's safe. See, it's safe. You need to prove that they're dangerous. The reality is, I do not have to prove anything. If you want to sell your garbage, you have to prove that it's safe, and you have not. So while you're waiting to figure out how to prove that it's safe, label so I can make a decision. It is time for us to label properly so that I know what I'm eating. Yes, on 37. That is why we're here, and this is what we need to do. We have 8 days left. We have 8 days to convince that 13% that is undecided.
Wow. Children will see something beautiful and want to eat it. Don't you want this? Oh, you are smart children. Yay! Thank you, parents. But there's a lot of other people who see something beautiful like this and will say it must be better. But they don't know what's inside of it. We need to know. We need to have our food labeled. We need to be informed consumers. We need to vote yes on 37.
Ann Schwab, Ms. Stone is such a thoughtful person. Randall has helped people to plan their future as CEO of a financial management company. He's led the effort to build 75 units of affordable housing so that
proposition. You know, I go up and down the state, and I talk to some friends and business associates throughout the state, and they've heard of Prop 37. But I'm sure many of you know here that this proposition started here in Chico, and it's something that I'm very proud of, and you all should be proud of as well. Pam 37 early on during this campaign, and this one seems like a no-brainer, and I'm sure that's the same way you all feel. It's an absolute no-brainer. Put the label on the material that we're buying. We want to know what it is that we're buying. It seems so simple, and yet so easy for people to throw $40 million at a campaign in order to fight this. When I think about labeling of products and what people are saying about it's okay for you, everything will be fine, you don't need to know if there's GMOs in these products. You remember a time 4 out of 5 doctors recommended Marlboro cigarettes?
What year was that?
Right. GMOs are just fine. Now we don't know, and we weren't going to bash GMOs, but I want to know whether I'm smoking tobacco or whether I'm eating my Wheaties. Tell me what it is that I've got when I go to the grocery store. I'd appreciate your support for council. It's kind of a separate issue. My name's Randall Stone. As Sue mentioned earlier, I'm an affordable housing developer and professional financial manager. I've been here 8 years, and I really, as you're telling people about 37 and the other propositions, yes on 30, no on 32.
I didn't know we were
Tammy Ritter. Tammy Ritter.
I'm going to pop those out just for a minute. So I'm going to talk a little bit about horror stories. We're hearing a lot of horror stories around Prop 37. So the first one I heard about was salmon mixed with eel genes. Who's heard about this? Oh, yeah. Oh, you told me about it, Diane. I know you heard about it. What about the ham with human genes? Yeah, does that sound scary to anybody else besides the vegetarians in the crowd? It's frightening. They're trying to scare us into not voting for this proposition. They're trying to tell us that it's going to cost us $400 or more a month simply to put a label on our food. They're already labeling our food with other things. How could it possibly cost that much more to tell us whether or not there's a genetically modified organism in there?
Sounds like monkey jive.
It does. I agree. So let's not be fooled. Let's tell them what we want and let's demand that we get it. This is how we have our voices heard, right? We have the opportunity to vote. We need to use it. And we need to encourage everyone that we know to get out and to vote. It is our right to know what we are putting in our bodies. So, Randall, it's not a separate issue. The city council candidates you're going to hear tonight are the people who represent your values. They're the people who represent what is important to you. So make sure you get out and vote. I'm Tammy Ritter. Please vote for me. Vote yes on 37.
Aho.
Wow.
Good to see all these people out here, especially the children. Because the children is the reason that I am supporting Prop 37 along with all of us. I have a granddaughter growing up here in Chico now, and I know how her mother would want to know what Evelyn is eating. That would be so important to her, just like it would be so important to all the other moms and dads out here. What are your children putting in their mouths, and what has been done to it? Why is it that 50 other countries throughout the world are labeling their products and no place in the United States, and California is asking to be the first one? We should be no different than those 50 other countries. In fact, I pulled up something on Monsanto today. The United Kingdom has been doing this for years. In the United Kingdom, Monsanto's ad runs under the heading food labeling. It has Monsanto's full support. Why can't we get the support that we want here in California? So, when you go out and vote next Tuesday, I know I'm ready to vote. I am really ready for this to be over. Remember, there are 4 progressive candidates that support your values and want to support Chico the way it is. Mayor Ann Schwab, Tammy Ritter, and Randall Stone, and myself, Kimberly Russo. Thank you.
Expert on GMOs. He is a senior scientist for the Food and Agriculture Program at the Union for Concerned Scientists, and I asked him, what is the safety of GMOs? And he said, at best, equivocal. The studies are equivocal. They don't prove anything one way or another. He said, the studies done on GMOs are done by Monsanto, and the results of their studies say it's safe. How do we know what is safe? So I asked this senior scientist from the Union of Concerned Scientists, is it safe? And he said, we don't know, I don't think so. What he also said was, there are so many better ways that we use our resources to produce more food, to produce healthier food. He said, imagine this. Instead of using genetically modified organisms, he said, we take the same resources and the same time and we build our soils.
Yes.
We actually stop depleting our soils. He said the result of actually building our soils and caring for our environment produces more, better results than modifying organisms, than tapping into genetically engineered organisms. It's silly. The easiest, cheapest way of actually getting more products, more food out of our environment is by treating our environment with love and kindness. We need to at least get our foods labeled, and we can talk about the science later. So don't even engage in conversation about safety with your friends. Just get our food labeled for now. We'll work on the rest after the election. So we're going to turn now to our costume contest.
I think that's it. I have something about cross between a mermaid and a fish. That's the sweet award right there.
You win in my book.
No, thanks. It's very hot.
It is, okay.
Very hot in there.
Spondylitis, atopic infectious Activism, and you're a husk of my former self. Take heed of my haunting here tonight. This is a warning that you must stop the destruction of pure seed and repent your wrongdoing. You must do all you can to get GMOs labeled. You must vote yes on Prop 37. If you do not, your end may be near, just as mine is. Look into my face. that you may understand your destiny if you continue with your foolish ways. It's not nice to try.